Have you ever wondered where the tradition of an altar began or what certain altar pieces represent?
Roma, I have, and I know you got answers to those questions with Chef Johnny Hernandez, and you even got to learn about somebody very special in his life.
He was famous for his enchiladas.
Enchiladas de chile con carne served on a beautiful platter, but these homemade delicias are not for consumption. So he was a good cook too.
He was the best.
What was your dad's name?
Johnny.
They're part of Chef Johnny Hernandez's Dia de Muertos altar in honor of his father. Tell me about your altar. You brought enchiladas to your dad because when did he pass away?
88.
Really?
Very
How old
young.
were you?
I was probably 15 years old when Dad passed away.
So young.
Yeah.
But even at such a young age, he admired the impact his father made on the community.
Dad was the, he was like the spiritual father of so many on the West Side. I always saw him receiving friends from the neighborhood, and he would pray for them and he'd give them words of advice. And so he dedicated a lot of time nurturing others.
That's why you see a Bible here and many other heirlooms that remind Hernandez of his father. You also see the faces of his beloved tias and friends who have gone to rest.
At the end of the day, these ofrendas are very personal. We honor and remember, and there's a lot of sayings around the ofrendas about, you're not truly dead until you're forgotten.
Such a sentimental tradition, right? But where did it all begin and for what? I wanted to learn more from Chef Johnny specifically because he has studied and traveled all of Mexico.
The earliest ones that I researched were all about the celebration of the harvest. The earth has given us food to live by and to nourish us, and you place them at the altar and you're honoring Mother Earth, right? Back in pre-Hispanic times, they would take the skulls, and they actually had the skulls of the family members. And then you go further in time and they put the names of the family members on the skulls.
Which he says led to a more religious approach for Catholics.
They used to put photos on ofrendas when they believed that they were in purgatory. And in modern times, it's a photo of a loved one now that we see on the ofrenda. So you start seeing the celebration of the woman, the Catrina.
Speaking of this elegant icon, cultural ambassador Araminta Romero put these Catrinas together.
The Catrina is the most iconic symbol of the Day of the Dead, but it was not always like that. It actually started in 1912 with Posadas, a painter that was trying to criticize the government of Porfirio Diaz with the image of a person who was a skeleton wearing very beautiful attires, trying to say that the rich Mexicans were trying to portray themselves as Europeans. However, Diego Rivera used the same image and put it in one of his murals, and it became so popular.
Clearly, there is so much rich history of Dia de Muertos that if you just stop for a moment, you'll feel your loved ones.
Slowing down to celebrate and honor culture and our heritage has become more and more important. I think that in our life today, in this busy pace of life, we find these opportunities in these type of celebrations that allow us to slow down, reflect, and really appreciate, family and those that we have lost, and honoring them.
All that matters is that you keep this celebration alive and honor those who have passed, however feels best to you.
Wow, Roma, so much history, so much culture. That was a beautiful story.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting to learn so much about Chef Johnny's father and just so much history. Like you mentioned, I was unaware about the celebration of harvest, but since obviously Johnny has been such a big role model in San Antonio, he's created a huge Dia de Muertos festival here. And in case you didn't know, you can celebrate today and tomorrow. So build your altar however fits best for you. Don't go anywhere though, because after the break, we are getting into the Barrio Muertos party vibe. What does that mean? Well, you're gonna get to check out some gorgeous lowriders and more.